Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters, welcome to the Shake Hands Podcast. My name is Dan McGain. My guest, Anthony Watson.
How we do?
And his daughter, Day Day Watson. Day Day Watson is a young female wrestler here in Iowa. Not just a female wrestler, a pretty impressive female wrestler, and as tough as nails. Day Day, thanks for being on the podcast today. See this music. All right, Day Day, because we had started this early for those of you at home, and then we had to go back and restart it. We forgot to push record. Day Day, they call you Day Day, but what is your real name?
My real name is Danasia Watson.
Danasia Watson, and like I was asking you, what or when did they start calling you Day Day, and why?
In pre-K, and because it was hard to pronounce my real name.
Yeah, so your parents should have just called you Day Day out the gate, huh? That's pretty common. Most kids like to have a shortened name. Most people use a full name, and then they shorten it. I know, like, my name was Daniel. They called me Dan. My son's name Maximus. They call him Max. So that's a pretty common thing that people shorten their name. Day Day, is it just because the first part of your name is Day?
Yeah.
And that's what it is? All right. I didn't know. I know another kid that wrestled that was in the club that you're wrestling, a kid named Day Day Caldwell. He went by. Do you ever know? You know that guy? You ever heard of him?
Yeah. I think
Maybe.
so.
Yeah, he was a pretty tough wrestler. I know that young gentleman. Didn't you have part to do in helping coach him at a time?
Yep, I remember Day. He was tough. He was tough.
Yeah, he had a lot of potential. I don't know if it was him or Robertson that had a knee problem. Robertson had a knee problem, right?
I know Day had his was more of his eye.
Oh, yeah.
His eye.
Yeah.
That Day Day. I remember.
Oh, now the regulation comes back. By the way, I want to say I love the hairstyle you chose today for the podcast. That is absolutely marvelous. It makes me think of Disneyland a little bit. The Mickey Mouse ears. Have you ever been to Disneyland?
Not yet.
Not yet. You never went to Disney Duels. That's what I was hitting on.
Yeah, we were there, but they said you had to be in middle school. She's
Ah.
just now hitting middle school. They thought she was older.
Oh, so what grade are you in?
6.
You're just now in middle school. So that Disney Duel is something I suspect you're going to be going to.
Yeah.
And when you're down there, you're going to try to ride some rides or something?
Yeah.
I've never been there either, so I'm thinking maybe I need to have a daughter so I can get down there. Do they have boys wrestling too? Yeah, in high school boys, it's a pretty tough tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a little background on you, Day Day. Where do you wrestle at? What town do you live in? I mean, I know you, and you know, but these people at home may not be familiar with you yet. So who are you, and where are you from, and what do you wrestle for?
I'm Danasia Watson. I wrestle for the Future Trojans, and I'm from Waterloo, Iowa.
Okay, from Waterloo, and you said you're a 6th grader. How old are you then? Does that make you, 12, 11?
Yeah, 11.
11 whopping years old. Now, at 11 years old, I suspect you've wrestled a couple years because I know you've won a lot of big stuff. When did you start wrestling?
At the age of 4 or 3? 4, 3?
4. That's a pretty common age that a lot of people are getting into, start being in the wrestling room, and I suspect your father being a coach is part of the reason that you were in the wrestling room, and you just decided to start rolling around, huh?
Yeah.
So, you've always trained with Future. Have you ever been to any other clubs? Have you trained anywhere else?
Yeah, was it in Nebraska for...
Yeah, she had went out to Nebraska and was training with Johnny Galloway.
Oh, Johnny Galloway. Yeah, we spoke about him on another podcast episode about Galloway, and that he was in Nebraska. I think that was with the Salas we were talking about him. You were in that era, were you not, when Galloway was up there? Was you with Ryan Salas back in those days? Was you guys on a team together?
Yep, we were, what was that, 99? Back in 99, I think Ryan was a sophomore. I was freshman.
And now you were one of those guys that went to Iowa City, yeah?
Right. We had myself and Justin Jordan had like mid sophomore year, right around the Christmas break, had moved to Iowa City.
And you wrestled, and that Galloway went down there wrestle, because I've always heard little bits and pieces of that story. So,
Galloway, Boss didn't go down there until junior year. He finished up sophomore year, and then that summer he had moved down there with his dad. But we were down there all junior year. But it wasn't necessary. That's when I
What school did you wrestle for down there? City High?
City High under Brad Smith and Coach Gatson. and Coach
Oh,
Bradley.
Gadsden was down there at the
Yeah.
time. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's the piece of the information I didn't know. Now, I know we're here to talk about Day Day, and we will talk about Day Day, but I just want to give a little background. There's a reason Day Day is as good as she is, and part of that reason is her father. Her father wrestled for Waterloo East, went down to City High, and then did you not wrestle in college a little bit on the Iowa team?
I redshirted at Iowa.
You redshirted at
I
Iowa?
wish I didn't redshirt. I wasn't as educated on redshirting, wrestling, Olympic red, all that.
Yeah.
But that's why it's good, because now I can get some of these other wrestlers awareness of that. But it was a good experience. Though.
That's so true. And my son's getting a little older than you, and as I talk to people who are kids are starting to go to college and stuff, it's amazing how everybody just assumes to know about that stuff, but they don't actually know. They don't actually know what the red shirt is about. They just think, oh, that's an extra year of wrestling. They don't really understand how the Olympic red shirts, how the injury red shirt, how, getting in the lineups, picking a lineup, picking a school. I mean, if you guys are out there, and your kids are picking a school, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I would suggest that you find someone who's been in that road recently, because you want to pick a school, but there's so much goes into it other than wanting to pick that school. Are you a person that needs to be wrestling? You need to have a starting spot. Are you okay being the guy behind the guy who starts and just being part of that team? Because that happens a lot. I know there's Kel Happel. He's down there at Iowa now. That kid, four-time state champion, and he's
in the battle.
He's trying to make the lineup, but there's a good chance that might not ever happen, just because there's so many great wrestlers at Iowa. So make sure that you do your homework. Talk to some people that's been through the process. All right. So also, before I get to Day Day, because I know you have, but did you ever place at the high school state tournament?
I placed all 4 years. I took fourth, 2 runner-ups, and I won in my senior year.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. So he's placed 4 times at state. Have you ever been to state?
Yeah.
How many times have you placed? More than 4.
It depends.
We
With the
count
boys,
freestyle, Greco, AAU,
Yeah.
and USA in grade school state. Did you place in any of those?
Yes.
How many times do you think you placed? So many you ran out of fingers? Yeah, you ran out of fingers and toes? AAU, let's just pick AAU because I know you placed so many times. AAU, how many times have you placed at Super Pee Wee or AAU?
Was it 4 or 5?
4 or 5? Have you placed every year? You've probably placed every year, I'm suspecting.
We did not place.
And 2 or 1.
I think it was second grade year. We made it to the big boys.
Oh, you went down to the 3rd
Yeah.
or 4th grade state. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Hammers are doing that. So did you win the Super Pee Wee or place real high there that year? That's why you thought, why not? You're that good?
Second grade we came up. We placed. She placed 3rd, but we were going for the 3-peat.
Yeah.
Because she had won it kindergarten, 1st grade.
Yeah.
And we were trying to go for the 3-peat second. She cut 3rd. It was.
Yeah. And that's a battle. So.
Right.
So you're a 2-time Super Pee Wee champion, and now you're going into 6th grade. That means you would have been 3rd, 4th. Well, actually, you got 2 third chances, but 3rd, 4th, 5th, 3 years. How have you placed in those 3 years? Have you won it yet? Or have you placed?
I've placed.
Yeah, you won girls. Boys.
I'm working on boys.
Oh yeah. See, we're talking about placing in the boys. I guess I just assume you always win the girls, because every time I ever see you wrestle, I never see you lose. So against girls, at least. I mean, the boys, I've seen you lose, but not very often, and it's usually somebody who's an absolute hammer as a boy. So I mean, my point is she's placed or won so many times. We're having trouble. Remember, that's what track wrestling is for. That's why you can keep track on track wrestling.
I was a wonder from. I'm like, oh, thank you, because I forget where we go.
Yeah.
And she'll remind me, like, oh, we already been there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of it is when you're really good. It's not like, oh, I have to win everything, but you're like, okay, you're looking for that next challenge, that next goals. Do you set goals?
Yes.
Yeah, you set goals, and it's probably to win some of those tournaments. And when you win that tournament, it's like, all right, what about that tournament? Let's go win that one. We got the corn cob here. Have you ever won the corn cob?
Yeah.
Yep, we won a corn cob. We got Dominate the Dells. You ever won one of those?
Yep.
Tell me about some of the other ones you've won. What are some of the national tournaments?
What was that one where fish one that me and you wrestled in?
Rumble on the River? Yes, your dad wrestled. I remember
you
that.
would bring that up.
Yeah.
You
Didn't he
would.
gas out on that one? I think he was over there. It looked like he was having a stroke of some sort. His lungs had stopped working. I think I was even calling him to the
Right.
mat because I was announcing at that tournament. Was you coaching him there?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I announced that you had an extremely high level coach in the corner. So
That
tell
was-
me about your dad's experience there. I see you laughing.
Well, he was wrestling, was it college?
It was
Some young buck.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was younger than me.
Yeah.
He was
He
younger
wrestled
than me.
in 3 rounds.
It was
Or-
supposed to be 2 to 3
He
rounds,
was wrestling.
That's 2 out of
both
3?
Yeah.
divisions.
but he was double bracketed.
Yeah.
You know, he had stepped up because I think he weighed in about 45, and I was at 52, but it was a 55 weight
Yeah.
class, and he had bumped up. You know, gave me a match. We just did one. I wasn't going to argue. You know, I said thank you for coming up. You know, it was fun though.
Yeah, because I remember calling you guys up there, and I think both of you were like, no, we're good. it was a pretty fun spot. And so you got a fish at that one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So now where do you keep all these trophies?
In the basement, but we started to run out of space, so I don't know where we're gonna put this.
Dad's got to do a little rearranging.
Yeah,
You know, I still got my. You know, everybody has their little man cave, and
yep.
I got my boys' stuff up there. But now they're in high school, so I'm gonna,
Take it.
you know, I'm gonna ask them if they want some in their room and kind of rearrange some stuff,
Make space.
make space.
Yeah, and you being only in 5th or 6th grade,
Yeah.
I want you to make a lot of room.
And
Because the next few
Destiny.
years you can still get
and
to.
I got 2 more up and coming.
Yeah.
You got 2 more kids?
2 more up and
So you
coming.
got 5?
5.
Man, you starting a dynasty. Holy smokers. Man, are they boys or girls?
I got Destiny, and then I got little AJ.
So another boy and another girl. So that means you got to set the standard so that they coming up behind you, they got to chase you. And their goals will be to surpass you. But your goals are, you started to talk about some of your goals.
This year goals is to win boys toss up.
It was a pocketbook.
Basically, I want to beat boys. And
You want to
boys
be
are-
boys in the boys division. Yeah.
Oh, snap.
What do you think is your biggest challenge when it comes to wrestling boys as opposed to girls?
They're muscle strong.
Yeah, genetically they have testosterone. Yeah, which is basically like legal steroids. I mean, we're not taking steroid, but the boys are producing a steroid form of testosterone that is just makes them stronger. So that makes you have to have that much better with your technique. And I know that I've watched your father's technique, especially on his feet, is pretty amazing, and I've seen him translate that to you. I've watched you. One of the places I've seen you train is the Dan Gable Museum. Tell me about that place and what you've done down there and what you guys have been training down there.
Well, they rebuilt it and it looks way bigger. And, well, when I watch you wrestle Eli, I try to copy his moves, but he doesn't tell me, so it isn't fair.
You didn't take the secrets. You gotta keep some of that back pocket.
Right. You ain't finna be getting older whooping up on me. I ain't show you everything yet.
You gotta keep it to the side.
Right. She go come up with her own little tricks.
Yeah. So now, didn't you have work with a girls group down there as well? Your father was helping coach that or something, and you were part of that. What was that called?
It was Female Elite,
All right.
and we have like a couple girls there,
Yeah.
some of them.
See, what we do is we host a practice there. Right now it's on Thursdays, but we got girls in different towns. That's why I'm trying to get more girls here in Waterloo, Cedar Falls area to get a part of this movement. But they're coming from out of town, so they got to travel a little bit. You got other places.
Yeah.
But we do have that practice available for the girls. We get once a week right now, and I'm trying to fit it in the schedule. And
Now, is
work with
any
the
girl
music.
able to come there from around that wants to come there?
I would embrace any girl that is.
And what will that
interested.
cost them?
Right now, cost is imminent right now until they want to do it.
Yeah.
And then you would have just to train It will be, you get your USA card, and it's just $25.
So USA card and $25, and you can train with a former Iowa Hawkeye, state champion, 4-time place winner, and of course, the legend, the beast herself, Dede Watson. Dede, who's your main training partners right now? Who are you training with these days?
Well, I'm helping my baby sister now, but my dad.
Your dad. He's your training partner. What moves do you like to get him with the most? What's kind of the move that you like to hit him with?
I try all the moves, but he always counters it.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
For every counter, there's another counter.
Keep telling her that. As you get older, you gotta have 2 to 3 moves in your
I
head.
preach that to the kids. For everything he does, there's something you can do. And for everything you do, there's something he's got to do. Then it becomes, because learning the moves is just part of that, Russ. The thing is, who can get to that next position and is aware of what you're about to do, so they can beat you to that, you know.
Combos.
And that's what it becomes. You know, your shots are your setups for your takedown. That's what, you know. I try to say it, and they're like, "What do you mean, my shot, my takedown? No, your shot is your setup." Because against a good wrestler, the shot might not be there, and even if it is there, they're gonna counter it.
Right.
How do they counter it? And then how can you score off of that counter? And when you become thinking third level like that, then all of a sudden you're scoring the takedowns, you're scoring the back points. What's your favorite turn? How do you pin people?
well, I started this one at a camp. That one
You gotta show
where.
them.
She trying to put it on there right now. Come here, Dad. Let me throw down.
Okay, so I get them, I break
Oh,
them down.
hold on. Before we do that, we'll go on a commercial break, and we'll come back and we'll find out what her secret move is. All right, those of you at home, we're not going to commercial break because you're on video, so we're gonna go ahead. But this will be when we insert our new. Okay, so we got that, and then welcome back to the Shake Hands Podcast, Part 2 of Dede Watson. She was about to show you on her father the move. Those of you at home listening, sorry you won't be able to see this, but you'll have to get the YouTube version tomorrow. Okay, so go ahead and tell us about that destructive, arm-wrenching, back-twisting move that you do to get them in the pin and for the fall.
Okay, so first I break them down, and then I learned this at the Future Trojan Camp. So
she's showing you. So what she's doing, I'll describe it as she does.
I go under the arm.
She's got an inside wrist.
Oh, she put
Puts it on the back. Uh-oh, like a hammer
Then
lock.
with my other arm,
She's putting a half or a claw on the shoulder, a shoulder hook,
and then with my leg, I step over.
over to that side.
Yeah.
All right.
Left
Go take
side.
me over that knee.
And then I put my knee up to cover his.
In his
Arm.
arm, his
Like
elbow
arm.
area. Yep.
And
And
then
then
I
you roll him
roll
back
it.
over into your lap, kind of thing. All right. There you go. So if you got a kid that's going to be in her bracket, that's what your kid's going to look like, twisted in a knot. That's awesome. All right. So being a girl, the opportunities beyond high school are freestyle in college for girls because they do not wrestle folk style. I suspect you've done some freestyle wrestling.
Yes, I have.
Tell me about some of your freestyle experience.
When did I first wrestle freestyle?
I mean, when you were old enough, they kept raising the age group, you know. But I think I want to say
year?
no, it wasn't last year. It's about 3 years ago now. We really started getting into freestyle. Because once she started hitting that 3rd grade,
Yeah.
you know.
Now, do you like freestyle more than folk style? You're used to folk style, so you kind of transition in a little bit.
I kind of do because you can shoot, but most of my moves, it's like when you're wrestling a person and they're heavy and you get bumped up, it's like it's hard to do freestyle.
Yeah. You get caught underneath that weight. Yeah,
Yes.
that's when them sweeps come in and pass-bys. You got to adjust your style to the opponent you're wrestling. That's just if you were to wrestle a tall person, you would probably, maybe change up a little bit of your tactics as to how you're going to set those shots up and stuff. Or if you were wrestling a compact, little short, muscular little man, you could do things different. That makes sense. Now, freestyle, have you won any big freestyle tournaments or state tournaments of freestyle for girls, I imagine?
Yes, I have. In New York.
Yeah, we went to. Yeah, that was freestyle. Beat the Streets. I took her to Beat the Streets this past year.
I want to go to that again.
So let's go to beat. So you enjoyed that? I've
Like
never
I
been
said,
there.
there goes my pocket.
It's one of the few tournaments I haven't got a chance to get to yet. So you went to beach all the way to New York. Is that where that's held? Man, all right. That's a long trip right there. That definitely, and that's an expensive stay. So yeah, go ahead and dig deep in your wallets. Get yourself a room today.
We take any sponsors, help us out. It's going for a good cause.
Yeah, and that's one thing you got to do sometimes with all these tournaments. I mean, if you're an elite wrestler, there's a lot of cost behind it. Is there anybody that's helped you, or any sponsors that you've had that's given you a little bit of something, whether it's money or just other things that's helped you get to where you're being, whether it's gear or anything else?
Yes.
So anybody you want to think that maybe grandparents or anybody that's thrown in, because I know it's expensive for a dad to pay for everything.
I think it was Strong Arm. What's his name?
Did you get the scholarship with Garrison one time?
Yeah.
With Garrison? Give a shout out to them. Go ahead and if you want to say something, say thank you to them and let people know who they are.
The Al Garrison Scholarship. And Allison, she just had a birthday too.
Al Garrison Scholarship, Allison, Iowa, is that? Or that's her name, Allison.
Allison Garrison.
Allison Garrison.
The Al Garrison Scholarship. She's out of Atlanta.
Out of Atlanta?
Yeah. She's down south. You gotta deal with no snow.
No snow. Okay, so when you shout, you thank you for all that you do for wrestling, because I know that you're not the only one that's received scholarships from them. I've seen other people on their Facebook page. They have a Facebook page. You want to check that out. So thank you to them. Anybody else you want to thank or that's helped you out financially or otherwise?
You got shout out to Charlotte Bailey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kyle Klingesman. He helps us out. With the museum. I know he's moved on to bigger and better things, but
I wouldn't say better.
Well,
Dang Gibbons is pretty dang awesome.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah, Jim Milton, but he's expanded what he's doing in his career and working for track wrestling now.
He opened up that opportunity to allow future Trojans, female elite, some of the jiu-jitsu guys that come in, to use that museum.
Yeah,
So
I think that's awesome.
Right, it's not just a regular museum.
Yeah, it's a museum that if you haven't been at the Dan Gibbons Museum, if you're out there, you have to get out there. I mean, most of you listening to my podcast probably have. You've come to the USA Nationals, which is held at Unidome, and you've had an opportunity to go there. If you have not, you absolutely need to go in there. It has wrestling, collegiate style from way back. It also has a section of professional wrestling. If you're a professional wrestling fan, you want to check that out. They do a lot of inductees to the Hall of Fame there and stuff. So what advice would you have for other young ladies coming into wrestling? Because I know that that's something and what advice would you have for moms? Because I know a lot of moms tend to not want their ladies to wrestle. What advice would you have for the ladies that might be considering wrestling, or maybe they're not, but maybe they should? And for advice for the moms who are maybe a little nervous to have their daughter wrestle?
For moms, you should let your daughter wrestle, or try, at least, because it could be something they never knew they could do. And for girls, young or old, make sure you beat some boys.
What is wrestling given you as I suspect maybe like self-confidence, some things like, is there any things like that wrestling is, you feel like wrestling has helped you become the person you are? What are some things that it's done for you that way?
It helps me protect myself, and it helps me have more friends, because many people know me from wrestling and doing sports, but I'm also at school. They know me a lot for helping people out and have confidence.
That's great. That's great. I suspect that when you start dating when you're 25 or so, and they come over to your dad's house, your dad's just gonna go take them into your room and go, "These are trophies for strangling boys." So go ahead.
Hey, what did I say about your boyfriend?
Did you say in order to take me out, you have to take him down?
There you go. I like that. I might have to steal that. That's pretty good. You gotta take my daughter out, you gotta take the dad down. Brian, who are some of Who maybe some other people I know? You talked about Charlotte Bailey. She has a daughter. Have you met her and talked to her? Have you been around her? What maybe a piece of advice? Has she given you any advice, or any other older wrestlers giving you any good advice?
She said to me, oh, this was when I was little.
Yeah, this was a little while ago.
Follow your dreams, I think, and believe in yourself, and you can accomplish any goals.
Yeah. That's
Goes a long
legit
way,
right
yeah.
there. Yeah, and you still know it even today.
Right.
That's
So
definitely
that
just.
was-
I remember her daughter
That was
wrestling.
about, I'm telling
7?
you,
Was it 7?
she was about 5'6" around that time. So that was,
Her daughter wrestled for Iowa City
Yeah.
West, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
she wrestled a kid named Kyler Lowe, who at the time I was working
Oh,
with
man.
Gatson. And I remember us going down there and we were joking with Kyler about hey, getting the phone number afterwards. Has any boys you've wrestled ever asked for your phone number or Snapchat? You know, because you beat them and then they're like, I'm not asking her out. You gotta let them win and then be like, I let you win. You better call me.
that's
All
funny.
right. Okay, so let's talk about. So we got about going for about another 5 minutes or so. Let's get to know some more about you and wrestling, and you and outside of wrestling. First of all, what's your favorite wrestling shoe? You got a favorite shoe?
Adeline Grace. Those are my favorite.
Did she just wrestle not too long ago? Didn't she? What did she do recently? Do you know? She was wrestling just the other day, I believe.
Just won her fifth
World
world title.
title. I think that might be the 5th one. I seen that. My memory's not so good. Been hitting the head a lot.
If
I
I'm
think she
wrong,
may have won
I know-
5 world titles.
I know it's up there. I know
Yeah.
it's more than 3. I know it's not 6.
Yeah.
So it's
Just
between
won
that
7
4 or
world
5.
titles.
I know
Yes.
that.
What does Day Day Watson do when she's not wrestling?
Either on my phone,
What are you doing on your phone?
watching videos,
Watching videos on YouTube? Okay.
either reading,
Lines.
either reading, and now I got to take my instrument home, so now I'm going to be practicing my viola.
Viola? Is that viola? Is that what is a viola? What is that? Is that like a violin or something?
Yeah, it has deeper strings.
Yeah.
Ah. And how big is it?
It's like this big.
So you hold it up here? All right. Yeah, my son played a cello once when he was at the Boys and Girls Club. He used to go there. The Boys and Girls Club down in Waterloo. They're taking donations, by the way, if you're in Waterloo area and you want to help out the Boys and Girls Club. They help out a lot of kids
Right.
in the area. So you like playing the viola. You get on, you watch videos. What kind of videos are you watching? Are you watching fell videos? Are you watching res videos? Are you watching fishing videos? What kind of videos does Day Day? If I were to go to your history, pull up your phone, boom, what's a good chance I'd be looking at?
It would be funny vines. Sometimes wrestling, if it's like I see him in it, or just wrestlers. Sometimes I search up history for like a project or something.
Wow, and out.
No, that's Lawrence.
And those dance moves. I caught her doing some dance moves.
No,
that
no,
time.
no.
She was coming across the room. She was busting moves.
Were you trying to get on that TikTok or
I
whatever?
said,
type
"Oh,
of videos? Can you dance? Do you got some dance moves? I won't ask you to do them. I just want to know, do you know how to dance?
Yes.
Okay, because, if a boy asks you to dance and you don't know how to dance, you be like, can we just sit here and I'll just shoot double legs on you? All right. What is something that goes through your head before you wrestle? What are you thinking? Where's your mind at? And what are you telling yourself?
Well, I try to plan out my moves, but I say, well, if that doesn't work, I think of another plan, and I like clear my mind. I don't look at the person I'm wrestling, because
You don't like to look at them? Even before you go out on, you just want to wait till you go out on the mat and then see what they look like?
Yeah.
Do you ever get out there and look at them and go, ooh, what happened to you?
If I see they're tall, like.
You're like, oh, well, hello there, Golly Jean, right?
Yeah, there goes my game plan.
Well, I guess low
Yeah.
singles is an option today.
We're gonna switch that up real quick.
All right. So do you listen to any music before you wrestle, or do you like to just like hear the sounds of the whistles on the mats?
Well, it depends. If it's like a small tournament, I'll just bounce around, stretch. If it's like a big tournament, I'll listen to music.
Yeah.
I would say, from experience, from being at the national tournaments and to some of the local, when we're at the local tournament, she's more on the mat, watching teammates and people she know wrestle. But when we go to those nationals, we can't really be down there like that.
Yeah.
So we get
one, it's crowded, and two, there's probably the people she's friends and knows.
Right.
There's not as many, so there's no one really to watch.
So now it's video and her headphones.
What song would be playing if I just grabbed your earphones right before your match? What song would probably playing?
Well, now I have no clue.
No clue.
No.
What type of music? Country?
Nah, more
Hip
like
hop? Pop music that's on the radio, kind of. Yeah. All right. What does your dad say to you before your big match? What kind of advice does he usually give you before big matches?
Well, we usually we practice moves, like things I need to work on and make sure I do, so I don't mess up and end up in a bad position. Well, now I won't know what you'll say.
Do you like your dad coaching you in the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like most about having him in the corner? Just the confidence that's your dad, and you know he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Who else coaches you sometimes? If say your dad's not around or can't coach you, or
Jared,
who else?
Coach Jared, Ryan Salas. Sometimes it's Chris.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
All right.
That's our assistant high school coach. Yeah.
Okay. And so you plan on going to East Waterloo for high school, or do you have plans to go somewhere else?
Yep, East High.
East High. All right. And where are you going to go wrestling in junior high next year? Where do you go to school at?
Carver.
Are you going to be at Carver next year then? So then that means since I coach across town at Central, I'm going to make sure there's nobody around you weighing. What are you weighing? All my kids are going to be 20 pounds bigger. What do you weigh these days?
110.
110?
9.
Well, there
you
goes
look
the
at that,
opportunity of 106 in high school.
Yeah,
Man, that's out the window. What are you looking?
Yeah,
High school 145, Day Watson.
I threw that out of this summer. I said, because her first competition is next month at the conflict for charity.
Where's that
And
at?
that's in Independence.
Okay.
We got an individual and dual portion of it. And she's wrestling 110. At first I was like, they was asking for 100. I was like, no, what's the next weight
What's
class
next
after
weight
100?
up? Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got that, especially when it's a month or more out.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
these kids they could not grow 1 inch, or they could grow 10 inches.
That's why I be on, being coach of a club, I was on parents about, districts and state. I'm like, you got to realize they got to wrestle the same way they did at
Don't
district.
cut too hard for districts, knowing you got 3 weeks later.
Right. You think you'll be able to hold that weight down for the next 3 weeks, or otherwise just bump up and let them
be comfortable.
So it's always a chess game because you got hammers at every weight.
Yep. Have you ever cut weight before?
Yep.
Yep.
That was a
Just give
long
me a little
time.
insight into Day-Day's weight cutting, what kind of food you ate, and what kind of things you did to get down to weight. And did you like it?
Nope.
I'm waiting for one person to go, yeah, I loved cutting weight. Nobody ever says yes.
Which one should I do? Should I do 57? Or what was that one?
Yeah, 57 might have been our last time. That was that last cut.
Reno.
You're like, oh, done with this.
Yeah, trying to make it.
So what now would be like, okay, I can cut 1 pound, 3 pounds. What would it be like, okay, that's really not cutting, I can do that. What do you like to set your goal at for cutting weight? Like if you're not really wanting to cut weight, but say you're gonna weight class, what would be probably the lowest you want to go without making it too difficult? Just like being able to miss a few meals and get a good workout in and not have to cut weight. What would be the lowest you'd like to go? If you're weighing 110 now.
I could go 105 because
105. So about 5 pounds. Now how much would you lose in a practice?
I have no clue.
You don't know how much you lose in a
I
practice?
don't.
It's different now.
It
She's got a
is.
little older, and she's now starting to sweat.
Oh.
As a kid, kids don't sweat.
No.
So you like, man, I don't know what to tell you, smash some lotion on you, and follow the drip. But
Believe me, I mean, I'm sure you've been around
Yeah.
as long as I have. I mean, the techniques that I've seen from people who are trying to cut their kids down, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, he shouldn't be doing that.
right, you gonna make them lose love for the sport.
One of my favorite ones was the make the bathroom into a sauna, put him in there, and then walk out and forget that he knows how to turn the faucet on. Like, he gained a pound. He sat in there for 35 minutes and he came out a pound heavier. And then we found him and we walked him in, sat him back in there. He come out and he was drinking out. Now, it wasn't my kid. I'm not going to say his kid it is, but it happens. I mean, there's some drastic things that go on.
I will have
never did that.
the most drastic thing I had her do. Like I said, we had to make this weight. This is the last tournament of this series. We got to make this weight. Mom didn't come with us, so I was like, great.
Yeah.
In the bottles?
Yeah.
No
In the
crying?
bottle?
I had her in the back seat. I'm like, now you spit in this bottle and get it halfway full. That's
Yeah.
half a pound.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
finish it up.
Now, were you nice enough? This is what I get the Jolly Ranchers. Did you get her Jolly Ranchers
yeah,
or gum or something?
That, like I said, I have cut weight the right way and the wrong way.
Yep, yep.
So I have some rightish wrong way technique. So I gave her some candy, yeah, some gum or
Yep,
to give her that flavor in her
Yeah.
mouth. But I'm like, spit it out.
yep.
So
Yeah. It's pretty common. What, you half pound or less? We got a 2-hour drive. Here you go, kid. Here's a bag of candy. Now don't swallow. Spit in this cup. That's awesome. Well, hey, that gives us to about the end of our process here. Is there anybody or anyone you'd like to say thank you to, or anything you wanted to mention while you were on the podcast? Don't worry, I'm going to have you back on when you're in high school, if not sooner. But while you're here, is there anybody else you'd like to say hi to, thank you to, shout out to grandma or anything like that?
I'd like to say thank you to my family and friends for supporting me. All the wrestling coaches that gave me advice.
All right. All right, well, thank you very much, Danny. Appreciate you coming on. Anthony Watson, thank you, sir. That again, Shake Hands Podcast. We'll see you next time. Episode 10 with Danny Watson. See you later.
you can't say nothing about football.
Oops.